Motor's out. Took a little bit of a process to get there, just because it's not exactly the most space we're working with, but you know, we're just doing what we can, and thanks to my brother that showed up, he ended up helping out a little bit, and I appreciate that a lot. Where we stand so far, we're gonna start swapping everything that I need to swap over, which is pretty much motor mounts, this line here, you know, water pump, a few of the timing sensors and stuff. There's a harness on the inside that I have to swap over as well, but basically just, you know, the accessories and some mounting brackets, flywheel as well. We're gonna get that swapped over. It's definitely a hell of a process doing all this. The biggest pain in the ass were the bell housing bolt, some of the spots where the wire harness runs up into. I think that pretty much covers most of it. I'm gonna put y'all back on the time lapse. Y'all enjoy.
I don't know how much got on my forehead, but
here at Breakneck Performance in Lubbock. Just want to give a huge shout out to Jake and SB. The biggest issue is trick of the trade, man. Just having the knowledge and experience on the how-tos. I'm not ashamed to admit I kind of didn't know no better. I should have took one of the coatings off, but I met these guys a few years ago. Super good people. They treat you like family. They'll take care of you, and at the end of the day, that's who you want working on your vehicle, man. 2-minute phone call to Jake, and he said no problem, bring it up. But I appreciate y'all very much. I really do. It's an honor, man. Yeah, no problem. But like I said, I appreciate it very much, and man, y'all go check them out. Well, we got back from Lubbock, and huge thanks again to Breakneck Performance and Jake and SB and all them. So it's just been very appreciative. It ended up working out really great, and they got us taken care of today. They also mentioned to double check these crank bolts in the back for your flywheel. If you can see a hole, they mentioned that you need to have thread sealant on these, which we are going back over ours and getting ours checked right now, and then we're gonna get ready to stab this thing in. It's a good way to start off by letting everybody know.
I'm sweating my ass off.
Well, that's great. I appreciate that. That means you love me. For everybody wanting a quick update of where we're at, we got the motor put back in the car. We temporarily took out the outside lower pulley just to help clearance, like I said, radiator and stuff like that. But we've got the motor set back down in there. We already got the bell housing bolts tied back in. We still need to do pretty much tying up all the wire harness and getting all the Christmas tree mounts lay out and map out exactly where the harness plugs and stuff like that. Alternators good to go. Got that tensioner bracket on there as well. The lower balancer is finally installed. Huge shout out to Breakneck Performance and the wifey. She's doing all the hard to reach places on the back, you know, on the grounds, and she's putting all the studs where the wire harness I guess grips onto the stud on the back. Yeah. And she's tightening up a couple of the grounds on the back side of that driver's side head. But this is the first ATI style dampener that I did by myself, or that I was trying to do by myself. And we built the Duramax a few years ago, back in 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. Yeah. And long story short, I don't remember us having to get rid of that anodized coating on the inside for it to slip better over the crank.
No, so we definitely did not.
Like I said, I finally just resorted to calling a friend that I hadn't talked to in a while, and because he owns a shop up in Lubbock, and you know, it all worked out. But anyways, back to this motor here. There's a sensor that she's about to put on in the back right there. So once she gets that sensor put in, getting the AC compressor put back on, we got to slide this stud on. So this top spot here has a stud, and then the bottom down there has a normal bolt, and then there's a bottom bolt as well on the back side. If you don't have a wifey that loves you and is willing to get to the hard to reach places with her small hands, and of course she's, you know, she got her gloves on to protect her hands from getting scratched up, but
I gotta explain because somebody already made a comment about it not having fingertips. So
yeah, I don't know who that was.
I wanted gloves that did not have fingertips because I like being able to feel, for example, like on the backside, like I can feel where I'm supposed to put the bolt or stuff like that. I can't do that with gloves with fingertips. So I got the gloves without the fingertips, but it protects the rest of my hands from getting all beat
just
up.
Think, listen.
They're knuckle busters, okay?
No, look, just think. You can mechanic and go work out with those. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And to some people, mechanicing is a workout. So,
right?
You know, it is what it is.
I mean, I'm sweating my ass off, so
well,
might as
yeah,
well
but it's because it's, you know, it's summertime out here, so. where we're at currently with the car. So we got the headers on both sides. Of course, we got the cool packs on the passenger side. We've got the harness kind of laid, you know, kind of over for now. And I've got the port plates mocked up just temporarily. And then, of course, following the instructions right now for some of the lines and how they run and how they plumb up for the port plates and the port rails. Right now, we've got the DSX tuning for the Atlas instructions out. And currently, as you can see, I'm having to pull certain pin numbers out, and then we're gonna just repin them right here to this supply connector piece. We're gonna plug these wires in place of where these go. But I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit and just explain what you are about to look at or see. So when you're looking at this, it tells you which one is exactly the number that you're on, which row. To hook up this DSX Atlas, they want us to pull pin number 36, 37, 39, 40, 51, and 70. You go here at the top left corner of this connector piece, and then you come to the inside row where it says 53, and it's going to be 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and you just kind of keep counting down, count up, but you're going down the row to stay in numerical order. So we've got wire pins pulled from the ECM connector, but according to the DSX instructions here, you've got number 36 pin, and it's a blue and black wire. Number 37 shows to be white and black. So when you get a pin, you're kind of looking at it. It doesn't exactly show any black marking on it, but neither does this other one. They are actually taped together. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Right here.
Yeah, it's taped together. So that way they know that those pairs of wires, they actually go together, which is fine. If you decide to do the Atlas install, if you pull them all out like we just did, don't freak out, but just make sure that you verify which one is which. But I would honestly, looking back at it, I'd probably just do one at a time.
One at a time.
The only reason I pulled them all out is because I wanted to try to get them out of the bundle a little bit, so that way we can all pin them up and not have any extra stress or anything like that. Pretty much all this is just tying directly into the GM wiring, and that way all the computers can talk to themselves. Once I do the firmware update and then I upload the patch to the operating system, it's now going to recognize the DSX port system. And of course, the wifey's, she wanted to use her smaller hands and get electrical tape put back on it. We're trying to insulate and protect as much as what we can. At least it's some kind of protection, and it's better than nothing. But she's getting it all kind of tightened up a little bit, and then we're about to put our cover back on. Alrighty, we got this fuel pump drop. We're getting ready to put the twin DSX fuel pumps in and getting closer and closer. So it's only me and my wife working on this thing. So fuel tank dropped and everything. We've got pretty much most of the wire harness plugged in. We still need to tighten everything up. We still got stuff just kind of loose sitting around, but overall the Maggie's on, new motor's in. We're just got a few lines to finish running, and we're waiting on a belt to show up that we had to get about an hour away, so we're waiting on it to show up right now. We still got a lot of wire cleanup to do. A little bit different setup than my last go around. Yeah, it's still supercharged 2650 Magnuson, but this go around we got built motor, a fully built fuel system. We're pretty much starting off where I wanted that other car to go to eventually. For those that know, my other car got stolen, so pretty much about it on the update on this, and try to film and record a little bit of what we can. This is first cold start and data log after the built motor. So we just did our first cold start and we idled everything up, sent off the data log to the tuner, which huge thank you to Ryan, by the way. Honestly, I don't know how to feel right now. Considering the last car was stolen and it only got to be a full bolt-on 2650 cam car. It's one of those moments where, yeah, I feel great. I'm thankful, I'm blessed. You know, huge thank you to God. God blessed us and allowed us to be able to build another one so quick. But this go around, we actually built the motor and fuel system. You know, I've still got a couple more things to do. I still plan on doing axles and a transmission at some point, but right now pretty much fuel system's taken care of, motor's taken care of. If I really want to start pushing the car, I can port the Magnuson here and get around 1400 of the tire, give or take. Everything right now is built for 1200 plus to the tire. I'm running certain size pulleys just to maintain a safe zone for the stock transfer right now. A lot of things around this build that we had to do a little bit of custom fabbing on a little bit. Like, this really ain't the most ideal intake. We couldn't even use the rotofab box because it doesn't sit in there properly, because we had to go up to a 112 millimeter throttle body, and that 112 inlet, it changes and adjusts where the throttle body sits just enough to where factory rotofab that fits a 103 to 87mm, somewhere in there. That fits no problem, but when you bump up to the 112, you just kind of make whatever you have work for now, which I am going to get it fixed. Either reach out to a shop or somebody and try to get that for sure taken care of. When you're in a small town like I am, I do not have all the resources and shops and parts and availability without having to order a bunch of stuff. And at that point, I'm not a fabricator, but for right now, just to get the car running and getting a couple data logs sent off, to be able to drive and move the car and get a few break-in miles on it, and this is just what we had to do. Overall, a huge thank you to God. Can't do it without our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It really means a lot. But me and my wife built the last car and this car, and that car was great. I really missed that car. That's really the main reason why I built this tribute car. And I know that sounds cliche to say, I mean, but you know, as car people, if you're a non-car person watching this, then you probably don't understand to a degree. It's just, we put time, money, effort, blood, sweat, tears, everything goes into these kind of stuff. And it's just, these vehicles are more than just a vehicle to us. Basically, they become like family. For car people, I know it sounds crazy, but that's just how it is. Just very, very blessed. This is the first built car that I've had. But overall, just huge thank you to good people, good friends, just gave me advice, just things like that. I mean, because I'm not gonna sit there and act like I know it all. I don't. But at the end of the day, we're gonna find out what this thing will do. And it was put together by me and my wife, and I'm just very thankful and appreciative. But thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all like, subscribe, stay blessed, and we'll see y'all next time.